was created, a loving, living library for you and me by multidimensionals long, long ago. These things known by the same of your leaders are kept hidden from you so you won't know. While they drink blood and eat babies every night, Earth was created to be a loving, living library, not a beast's kitchen devouring children as soon as they're born. The book of Revelation says beasts, they are from alien lands. They wear our sacred fez. They try their best to ruin the master plan. White folks were driven crazy way back when with distorted Bible lies and babies they eat. That never ever happened with regards to the Bible story, fairy tales, just pipe dreams in the sky. No one named Jesus Christ ever existed on this planet. Stories made up about this man were the 43rd versions of every same story of Bible fairy tales passed down through the years. If people didn't believe it, they went to jail in Europe in that darkened land. Just yesterday, around the way, they were burned at the stake, their ashes laid down for all to see. Others cried, for heaven's sake, let this not happen to poor me, enslaved by religious allegory. No Moses, Noah of this flood, and Exodus is the biggest lie. The Jews split Egyptian blood, and they spilled Egyptian blood for several hundred years. Shepherds, kings enslaved them and spitting on their tears. The lying Levite priesthood changed the stories of their guilt, making themselves victims, not knowing I would come to tell the story and show how lies are spilt. The world is kept, the masses dumb, stealing Egyptian astrotheology and the Babylonian nation's myth to construct their sacred Torah, saying they were the gifts from their demon god Jehovah, declaring he's the only one, a devil god, this ugly monster, Luciferian son. Ignorant Bedouins he deceived. They fed him well, their magic mushroom diet. They wrote their lies on top of lies, garbage to keep the people quiet.
Existence here. Now, for years, I have personally been talking about how the royal families of Europe are stealing our children, eating our children's flesh, and drinking their blood at their satanic rituals. This information is corroborated strongly by Arizona Wilder, who was taken by Joseph Mengele from the time that she was 3 years old and programmed to become one of the high satanic priestesses in order to facilitate these rituals for the royal families of Europe existing on this planet. She was a friend of Princess Diana's, and she speaks also.
She dedicated herself to her sons and various charitable organizations. In 1997, the media became frenzied over her relationship with Egyptian film producer Dodi Al-Fayed. The couple was visiting Paris in late August that year when they were involved in a car crash, trying to avoid the paparazzi. Diana initially survived the crash, but died of her injuries hours later in a French hospital. Her sudden and senseless death shocked the world. And now the woman who left her mark on the globe is being remembered and showcased in a unique exhibition that has made its way from her family home in England to right here at the Atlanta Civic Center.
Used by Berenguer Rothschild, used as a sacrifice for this belief system of these extraterrestrial Orion beings which are dominating this planet as we speak. I knew for certain that when the United States commenced to building those military bases in Iraq, that they would be building them so that they go deep, deep underground, because this is where they fly their spaceships. They can bring these Orion reptilians in from the constellation of Orion through the portal in Iraq, and they can deposit them in their underground military bases until it's time to move them by a spacecraft from Iraq all the way to Vandenberg Air Force Base in Northern California, as well as other facilities all over the United States, and then deposit them there. From there, they're taken to the underground cities where they live and exchange information and technology with United States scientists and make planet Earth their new home, principally because of the fact that the constellation of Orion is going to be vaporized by the Galactic Federation before 2013 ushers itself in. My friend also explains the fact that in addition to needing the blood of the humans on this planet in order for these aliens to continue their physical existence, as well as these Caucasian aliens living on this planet, acting as the financial ruling class, that they prefer the blood with the crack substances in it, with the heroin substances in it, with the cocaine substances in it, which is why this is such a lucrative market in this society. It is deliberately produced for the purpose of sustaining the life of demonic aliens living off of the human blood as well as the human body parts of the humans on this planet, and giving them nothing but an ignorant, primitive religion which was manufactured by these same demons for the purpose of controlling the minds, the bodies, and the souls of their ignorant victims. This is what
the last days must be won in the quest for Cybertron. In the last days.
I've been informed that one can see these numerous amounts of fabricated housing facilities on these reservations, in these military bases as well. It is when one goes into the interior of these housing facilities and one finds the closet locations in these housing facilities that one departs these closet doors and one reaches in and presses the necessary buttons that an elevator shaft rises and the door opens. One enters into these elevator facilities, presses another button, and is taken down to many different levels, all the way down to the 60th level in Arizona and possibly deeper levels in other locations. My associate was given clearance for the 22nd level and not to go down to the 23rd level because there were some aliens living and operating on the 23rd level which were hostile to humans, and that she might be kidnapped and held without release forever. This United States government, these aliens here trying to take planet Earth and say that black people come from the monkey, where in reality the monkey family was brought here from the constellation of Orion less than 6,000 years ago. It is confirmed by the fact that these are white people here from Orion with long monkey tails and hair on their feet, the way we don't have hair on our feet to distinguish us from them. I knew something was up. Iraq has nothing to do whatsoever with what many Americans have begun to believe, that they invaded the United States, that it was Iraq who caused the 9/11 event to transpire.